Hello guys, welcome to a brand new video on your favorite channel Hi Sky. Today video is somewhat gonna be a different because for the first time in history of Hi Sky, I'm gonna be shooting a video with someone who is actually training, is in between his training stages, and he is none other than Shashank. If you guys have seen in on YouTube, he is also a YouTuber and an Instagram influencer, and so basically I reached out to him for making video on US flying, what is the cost of living there, transportation cost, like majority I have heard from students, like they have to purchase a car in US, and what about the driving license for it, like Indian license works or you have to do something else. And what is the cost of car rentals and monthly expense, basically flying training experience, instructors, how instructors are there, how fun flying is over there, and yeah, basically this all. And I think I am very thrilled to I'm very excited to do this video because there are many students who just keep asking me, like, tell me more about US flying. Well, actually I did my flying from South Africa, so I don't know that much about US flying, but now in this video you guys and me as well will get a rough idea or a nice idea about US flying. So please stay to the end of the video, otherwise you may miss out some interesting parts, right? And without any further ado, let's start with the video on a sweet note that this video was shot on 24th, I guess, and today is 26th, 24th night, and well, actually, he is actually training in US, so we have to just compare our times. So, if possible, just give it a like, share, subscribe. It helps me to make more of these kind of a video, and much more videos are coming in future as well. And if you wanna know more about me, then follow me on Instagram, the link is in the description. And also just go to my Telegram group. It's a community of young aviator like you who is actually watching this video and who can connect directly with me and ask doubts about the whole aviation stuff. So we can just share a platform together. That's why I created this group, and it is growing very well. We have around 1200 plus members now, and you can be a part of it. It's absolutely free. Link is in the description. Just go and explore it. Just ask them your questions or text me directly. All right. So let's meet on the Zoom call, which is about to happen soon. I mean, it's not happening soon. It's already done, but let's meet on the Zoom call. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the screen right now. Here with us, Shashank, and actually, I'm very thrilled about making this video. And actually, this is one of my first ever video with someone in my field, and actually doing the training, and someone who is doing training in USA. And I'm very thrilled. And Shashank here is also a YouTuber and an Instagram influencer as well. And he also posts something about flying, just like me. And I will drop link about his YouTube channel and Instagram channel in my description. If you want to ask him something, you can just go with him. Otherwise, you will find every answer you're looking for in this video. Okay. So, Mr. Shashank, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. That was a good introduction, I would say. And I'm actually very thrilled to have it. It's been a long wait that we had to
Yeah.
go through. It's been some work that
Yes, yes, yes.
went through. But then, thank you
Mm.
so much for this. It really, I'm sure it'll help people that
Yeah,
are watching out
yes,
to
it will
compare
definitely
between
help.
two different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because in aviation, awareness is everything. I mean, in every field, awareness is everything. And
right.
if we are somewhat helping in that way, it is better for
True.
everybody, right? Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
So,
true.
Shashank here is flying. Actually, he's currently now sitting in US, and it's actually 11:30 a.m. right now over there, and it is
Right.
actually 9:30 p.m. here. So you can just see the time difference.
Crazy time
So we
difference.
have
Yeah.
just managed our time so that we can arrange a video for you guys. So hit a like and
Nice.
subscribe as well. So let's talk about the main stuff right now. So, Shashank,
I know that you are in Sunrise Aviation, and
Right.
so just for a general overview, how is it and where it is? Yeah.
So this is Sunrise Aviation.
Mm,
This one's located in Ormond Beach, Florida.
mm,
It's kind of like a suburb area, very close to Orlando, if someone might recognize Orlando. So
yeah.
this school has been almost running from past, I think, 20, 25 years, if I'm not wrong, or maybe if not more. But it's a very, very long-standing school.
Mm. Experience,
It's pretty, yeah,
experience,
I'll say
yeah.
yes.
Mm,
That's true. That's true. It's quite experienced, and the thing is that uh, they because they've been here for so long in the industry
mm,
and they've seen so many students. A lot of Indian students do come here, so they have a curated course for Indians that's going on here. So they
mm,
do have like the DGCA program that's going on,
okay.
and
Mm,
all the requirements, all the flights that you're doing, all the
mm.
hours that you're building,
Is
they
according to
cater
DGCA.
to exactly they cater to
Mm.
DGCA, but also because you're getting your license here first, like the FAA
First, yeah.
license. So
Mm.
it's gonna cover the FAA requirements as well as the DGCA requirements.
DGCA requirements.
So that's I would say that's pretty good because a lot of schools they only cater for FAA requirements, and then for
Mm,
DGCA you might have to work for yourself
yeah.
to get around those. But that's something pretty good. There's a good instructor to student ratio, something that people look out for a lot,
Yeah.
and for
Basically,
now,
whenever we find a school, we just look for like how many instructors
right,
are there, right? Mm. Like
exactly,
more
exactly,
instructor, more will be flying. Mm.
exactly. It's much better. The always more
Yeah, more
instructors, much better. And it also depends on how many students to instructor ratio we have, right? So, and of course, aeroplanes and the planes that you get to, the
mm.
aircrafts, number of aircrafts also matter a lot. Fortunately, we do have 152s and 172s accordingly. We have G1000s for anybody that's
Even
getting their
thousand.
instrument rated. Yeah,
That's
exactly. So
nice.
right now, I've started my instrument rating like approximately 10, 12 days ago.
And
So
G1000.
yes, I'll be flying
Amazing.
the G1000. So which is good help, because a lot of people do look at the cost of it, but then I would say G1000s really help the glass cockpits because eventually once we get
It,
into airlines, that's
just
what
the
we'll be
cost is
flying,
for
right?
just yeah. I think just the cost is just for the experience you are getting and the skills you are
Exactly.
learning actually, and it will help you further
True.
when you just go for an airline thing.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, because that's what eventually we'll be flying. Like in airlines, once we
Mm.
get into there, it's all glass cockpits. You need to understand how the digital systems work and things like that. Six pack is a good one. Like
Yeah.
six pack instrument panels that we have
Mm.
is good, but I think just for instruments, G1000 really helps. So they do have a bunch of G1000s, which is really nice. There's one more advantage is that they have another branch located at a different
Mm.
place, which is by air, it's around 2 hours from here, 1 hour, 1.5
Okay.
hour, and by road, it's around 2 hours.
Mm.
So anywhere like people have a requirement of a certain aircraft, could be G1000s, could be 172s, 152s, they could always like get the planes exchanged or like get more planes in if needed, things like that.
Mm.
So that's something I would say is helpful. Yeah,
It's very great. Mm. So
right.
I just want to talk about now the fleets. Like you have mentioned, they have Cessnas 150 and 170. Do they have
Right.
Piper as well?
Piper single engine, no. They have a Piper multi engine.
Multi.
Yeah, you could do your multi rating here, but
Mm.
I mean, there's a talk that's going on in India that Pipers are not very
Yeah.
easily available to get the
Yes.
conversion done, right?
I think.
So they have diamonds, I guess, in India. So usually they do have Pipers here, but then if you wish to get your multi done, you
Mm.
can just get it done in one shot here. So they do have their multi planes available. Yeah.
So they have one multi or how many multis they have?
I so in our campus that I'm here, there's only one multi right now. But
Okay.
like I said, in the other brands, they do have a few more multis, and they could
Few more
always,
multis.
yeah,
They can
exactly,
swap.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can
Mm.
swap the planes, they can get it as per the requirement. But whatever the one that's here, I think it's good enough for people that wanted to do the multi. Yeah,
That's great. And I just want to
right.
know about the maintenance. How is the maintenance of the aircraft? Like once they go to their MPI or like inspection and stuff, how much time does it
Right.
take? Or it just go and come quick?
So this is one more really good advantage with the school is that they have their own maintenance
Own
hangar
maintenance.
in the campus that I'm staying right now, that I'm training right now, and they do have their own inspection engineers and like
Ground staff, ground
maintenance
engineers.
engineers.
Yeah. Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. They have their IAs and NPs, all of the ANPs, technicians and mechanics. They do have there are people working here in the maintenance hangar. So any aircraft that is maybe closer to 100 hours or maybe closer to annual and things like that, they'd always get it there, get it done.
Hmm.
It'll maybe take like 2 to 3 days, depending on how many aircraft they have in the maintenance hangar, how many aircraft they're working on, and things like that. But otherwise, to be honest, in these 9 months, uh, I mean, see, the thing is, the 152s and especially the 152s that are available right now are like really old because the last 152 has been made, I think, some 30 years ago or something like that. So it's pretty old aircrafts that are available in 152s. So they might have few, issues here and there sometimes, but because we do have a maintenance hangar, maybe like one day if there's any issue. For example,
Hmm.
sometimes you see we are students using the
Yeah.
aircrafts, people going on solo, they would have different kind of landings and stuff, if you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
And there'll be like the nose wheel issues and things like the most common issues like nose strut
Mhm.
kind of collapses
No struck.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So exactly, these kind of smaller issues, they just fix it immediately, like maybe like one
Immediately.
hour 2 hours, it'll be done. So I'm just trying to say that any issue that usually occurs will be corrected
Sorted
as soon
out
as
quickly
possible.
and smoothly. Yeah.
Exactly, very quickly.
Hmm.
Any
That's nice,
inspections that
actually.
happen will take like 2 or 3 days around approximately to get the inspections done, which I would say is a good time to wait
Hmm.
for an inspection to be done, because they do have other aircrafts in spare that keep running.
Hmm.
So very rare to see any delay due to
Yeah. Any
maintenance.
delays.
Yeah,
Yeah. So how is
yeah,
your actual like training going on? Is the quality of the training at most up to the FAR level? Are you finding it
yep.
like whether I should consider something else in my training, or is it going good?
Uh, I would say it's going good. It's going good so far. I don't have any issues. So the
Mm.
only concern that I had at one point was that there was no availability of examiner, the DPE
Examiners.
for the check
Mm-hmm.
rides. But it's not
So what is
just
the
like
APE
with our
actually?
school.
Yeah, still want to
Exactly,
know.
exactly. So it's because there's general shortage of examiners around in
Okay.
Florida here, and we did try to find few examiners here and there that did not really work well. But recently, we have, I think, two full-time examiners that could always come to the school and get the check
Mm-hmm.
rides done, and we have one examiner that might be occasionally available. So that's total of
Mm-hmm.
three, which is pretty good now. And I think there were almost 9 to 11, 10 people that were waiting for the check rides, and all of us got their private done in span of like 1.5 week, because there's a full-time examiner available. So everybody just one by one, everybody got their privates done as soon as the examiner was available. But one good thing was, while the time we were waiting for examiner to come and have a check ride with us, we got to do our time building done. The hour
Oh, okay.
building that we do, the 100 hours requirement.
Okay. So my
Right.
thing is, like I did my training on South Africa. So there's one
Mm-hmm.
thing, like after your PPL, after your private,
Right.
you you will be able to do your hour building. So it doesn't go like
Right.
that in US. Like before your private pilot license, you can do your hour building
Yes. Yes. So the thing is,
actually.
it's not a FA requirement related
Mm.
to private pilot license. It's usually school's requirement because, to be honest, if you're not a private pilot and if you're going on a solo cross country, you need to get an endorsement from your instructor to go
Instructors, yeah.
out on a cross country, right?
Mm.
So if the more endorsements you have, and the more signatures that your instructors has to give you, the more burden is on them, because
Yeah.
their license is at risk, right? If something
Yes.
goes wrong,
Mm.
you're under their responsibility. But once you're a
Mm.
private, your license is your own
Yeah,
responsibility.
easily, yeah,
So
just
exactly.
go have fun. Yeah.
So exactly. So which is why usually they say that after the private, start your time building before just don't do
Okay.
it, because it's kind of like a problem. It could be a
Mm.
trouble to the instructors. But because there was an examiner issue, our school was considerate enough and they let us go. Even
They let us.
I should really appreciate my instructors, everybody, people, whoever was willing to go on a solo cross country for their time building, and they didn't want us to waste our time. So they were kind enough to give endorsements to all of us. We were going. I did almost like 75 hours of my time building just by taking endorsements.
Nice.
So that's something pretty good. Yeah. So you could imagine the amount of time we would be sitting idle if we didn't have
Mm.
this opportunity. But fortunately, we did get to go and do our time building done. That's one good thing I would say. Yeah.
That's nice. Like in South Africa, basically what happens
Right.
is you just do 50. The PPL requirement is you have to do have a 15-hour PIC. Hmm. So
Right. Yeah.
after that, you have to go to to have the PPL check. You can't go solo any further. You just have to go for the PPL check. Hmm.
I see.
Just that,
Okay.
yeah. And it's not in US, and it's actually beneficial in some way or the other. Yeah.
True.
Hmm.
That's absolute. Even here for us, private like the PPL, we need 10 hours of solo cross country. But beyond that, because for Indian requirements, we need 50 hours of 100 nautical mile cross countries. You might be aware of that, of course.
Hmm.
That we'll have to get done for the DGCA requirement. So
Yeah.
for that specifically, I think it takes longer, and to get it done before private is a big fortune here, I would say, just because the
Mm.
examiners was delayed. Otherwise, if the examiner was available, like you said, it's after the PPL that we start doing these
Mm.
cross countries. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So I'm just gonna talk about the exams, how difficult they are and how many they are actually.
That's a good one, because we were just before
Mm.
starting this, we are talking about that. But so here in the US, we only have three examinations. One is for private pilot written
Mm.
exam, then there's instrument rating written exam, and there's commercial
Mm.
pilot written exam, right?
Okay.
And I would say it depends. It's not really difficult. It's not, especially if you have given DGCA exams. I would say this one's a breeze for you. Like you don't have to worry if you have given DGCA NAV or Met or regs or
MSA
any of
law.
those exams.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's because in DGCA we do have context to go through. We do have content books, but we don't have exact guidance to what to read and what to go through the questions exactly, things like that. But here in the US, we have softwares called Gleim or Shepherd. I'm not sure if it's popular over there. Uh, but we do have Gleim and Shepherd kind of softwares that we can look into. So they just have questions. They have some
Okay,
thousand five hundred, two
database.
thousand
Mm.
questions.
Mm.
Exactly. It's kind of like a database. They have like thousand five hundred questions that you can go through, you can understand. They do have study materials as well. You can go through the content if you want to. But usually we go through the questions, we understand the questions, we give tests, practice
Yeah,
tests,
yeah, yeah.
and once we do that, then we'll be able to give the written exam accordingly.
Well, actually, in South Africa, there is also a app. It's University. It's basically the what you told. It has a bunch of
I see.
questions, and personally, I
Right.
used it, and in order to clear my exams over there, and it really helped.
Oh, that's
Rather
nice.
than taking ground classes, worrying about where to study, it just it has a whole thing in it. You just have to go through it, and I think it's
That's
actually
very helpful, I
best
would say.
thing to have
Yeah,
these apps. In India, it's just bunch of variety. Like you can go everywhere you
exactly.
want and it's just messed
True,
up and it messes up the aspiring students who are just coming in aviation
true,
and don't know
true.
anything, right? But
Right,
in abroad, they have actually a system, actually some apps which help students a
true.
lot in some way or other. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I would say that's true. Yeah. And it's very helpful, like if you have especially the database, because you exactly know what to go through,
Hmm.
unlike just searching what to
Searching
study, where to
everything.
study,
And the
etc.
more you
Yeah.
search, the more confused you are at the end.
Exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
That's very true. Yeah.
So yeah, so my next question would be like I have heard from so many students who just go to US and train there, like they
Right,
have to deal with a transport issue. Like school doesn't provide transport and you guys have to buy a car or rent it out,
right,
something like that. So actually
right.
you own a car right now or how do you manage?
I do. Yeah, I
Mm.
do own a car for myself.
Mm.
Because so right now, recently, our school started providing us multiple times of transportation, like in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. But
That's nice.
yeah, for us it wasn't in the code, but maybe for upcoming people it might be added to the code, like the charge of transportation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very sure of that, but I had to buy a car because
Uh,
I want the flexibility of going
yes, yes,
when I
yes.
wanted to. So even if there's a transportation that's happening, with the van run that happens in the morning, let's say you have a flight at 12 o'clock. So
Mm.
you still have to go at 7 o'clock in the morning, sit there,
Yeah,
wait
local
until 12
changes.
o'clock because of the or if you want to take cabs at least one way, one time, it's going to
It
charge
will cost you a lot,
very,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It
exactly. It
will,
would
see it
charge
in a long
extreme.
time, it will cost you a lot, man.
Exactly, exactly. So there's nothing wrong in sitting in the school. I'm not
Mm.
talking about that. You could sit in the school, but
Boring. It's not
for
wrong, it's
me,
boring. Simple.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more comfortable if I could come home, cook some
Mm.
food, and peacefully
Flexibility
study
is
on my own.
simply. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's much less stressful because
Mhm.
like with the exams and the flights that we're having, it's stressful enough. We
Yeah.
don't need any more stress about things like this. So which is why I went ahead and bought a car for
Got
myself.
it.
But students do buy cars here. It's
Okay.
quite common
And
to have a car. Yeah.
how much does it actually cost you guys? Like you just buying a car, so like it will be cost somewhere
Mhm.
around, if I'm not wrong, like $2,000 to $3,000 or more than that.
Exactly, exactly. No, it depends. On average, it depends. For me, I was fortunate enough. I got a car. I think it was some $4,000, something like that.
Mm.
$4,000. So this one, so there's a different kind of cars that are available. If you want like a really good, proper
A
commercial
decent car,
car,
really
sedan
good,
and
yeah,
stuff,
it makes sense.
it's expensive. I got a decommissioned police car, which was for a good deal. So, they use the used police cars that are auctioned out. People sell out
Mm.
here. So that I got that one. Not really comfortable, but I think does the job. It gets the job done. So that's pretty nice. So there are
That
cars
is
available for cheaper prices, but then you have to look into insurances. You have to look into
everything.
the any maintenance, if at all it has any. Yeah.
So well, basically, we are talking about the cars, and what about the license? Do you work on driving Indian driving license? You have to have a international driving license or something.
So, for the first 6 months, so
Mm.
in US, every state has different laws, right? So depending on where
Mm.
you go, the law changes.
Okay,
Here in Florida, for the first 6 months, you can drive on your standard Indian license. You don't have to get it
standard Indian license. Okay.
upgraded, right? For the first 6 months, however, but beyond
Mm.
that, you either need a international Indian driving license or you need a US driver's license.
Okay, international
So
license. Oh, okay.
exactly. Yeah. I got an international driver's license with myself while I was coming to US.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
was very
Okay.
helpful. Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
need an US driver's license right now, but I could still drive using my international IDP from India. Yeah.
So I think it's actually a good thing for the students who are planning to
Yep.
go to US for their training, just get their international driving license. Because the
Yeah.
load will be sort of cut off. Like, I mean, they can't drive a car without a license, right? It will be illegal for them.
Absolutely.
They only
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a
That's
license.
pretty bad.
And just like you
Yeah.
said, it depends on the states as well. So if Florida only 6 months, then you just have to depend on your either your school transport or cabs or
Yeah.
your friends. And I
Exactly.
don't
I
think so
would
that
suggest
is.
people to.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would not. It will be like sort of will not work out in the long run for you. Like if you
Yep,
just
yep,
depend on
exactly.
others.
Yep, yep.
Mm.
But it's easy. Like in India, it's easy for us to get an international driver's permit. You don't have to do anything. You just have to apply for it, and you just get a printout out of it. It's not a big deal. So I would suggest anybody that's coming to US just get the international driver's permit with you guys, and it's going to be very helpful for sure. Yeah.
See, students, India is the best. Yeah.
I swear,
So
bro. I swear.
yeah.
Yeah.
So coming on the expense now, so you will like paid 4,000 for a car, and
Right.
let's come on the monthly expense you are having right now currently. Like how much
hmm
is? Mm.
So, if you want to go with school's accommodation, you could do that too. School does
Mm-hmm.
provide accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I wanted to, but with school, the thing is you don't get, most of the times you don't get the roommates that you want to go with, and the roommates that you already have might not be
Yeah.
really
Good for
comfortable
you.
or anything that.
Mm.
Exactly, exactly. So I do have a bunch of people that I know from India, and we all wanted to stay together. So we just rented out a house here. We took a lease
Right.
for a year, and we rented
Wow.
out. So you do have different options. If you want schools accommodation, absolutely you can go for it. That's way more convenient, I would say, because you don't have to get into different things while leasing out an apartment. But for me,
Mm.
because of course, fortunately, I have
Yeah.
three other friends that I'm renting out,
Mm.
so it's much more convenient for me this way.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's
It's
around
easy. Yeah. Mm.
it's easy, and
Mm.
for me, including food, rent, electricity, and of course the car insurance that I have to pay every month,
Mm.
things like that. So all of this included is coming out somewhere around $1,000 to $1,200 approximately.
$1,000 to $1,200 or
Yeah,
$2,000.
no, 1,000 to 1,200, 1,200, just
$1,200. And
twelve
how
hundred.
much is
Yeah,
your insurance per month for the car? You
insurance
can have.
somewhere around $200, but I'm sharing the car with a friend,
Okay,
so
then they split.
it's
Okay.
just yeah, we
Mm.
split, and car also we split, so it's around 2,000 each. True, very true.
Mm. Yes. And coming now to
Hmm.
night flying, actually. So I have heard like you just guys start night flying early in your stages. And how does it go?
Uh True. That's true. So for me, it's not actually night flying, to be honest, here in the US. We just have a night requirement, which is
Night flying.
three takeoffs and landings,
Mm.
in a cross country, and then 10 takeoffs and landings in a uncontrolled airport and things like
Okay.
that. So don't quote me on this. I don't remember. It was way back. I have to get my
No worries.
regulations right. But yeah, you do have like a small requirement for your private pilot license. So that we just get it done in 2 days, or two
Mm.
nights of flight,
Oh, okay.
and beyond that we don't fly any longer until our private is done. So after our private is done, then we have night flight requirements for instruments, and then
Mm.
night flight requirements for commercial and things like that. So it's split across three stages,
Okay.
but there's no rating as per that we go through. Yeah,
Oh, that's nice. And
yeah,
yeah, I think so. Overall, your experience is good in US. I would
I would
say,
say
like,
yes.
yeah, hearing
Yeah,
from you, and the
right.
life over there is fun. Nightlife, I think it is amazing in US. And
it's
you're
it's good,
living
it's
in
pretty good.
Florida, so it is amazing actually.
Yeah, yeah. I would say yes, but the place that I'm staying, like I said, it's a suburb, Almond Beach or Daytona Beach, both there besides each
Mm.
other. So both of them, they're not like a city life. So if you're
Mm.
expecting a city life, it's because the
Okay.
closest thing that I could go to get some water or cool drinks or something is
Okay.
almost like a mile away. So almost like
Okay.
1.5, 2 kilometers away. That's the closest thing. There's
Well, I
nothing
thought,
else around. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, well, I thought if it's more close to beach, then it's more attractive to tourist
Yes.
places, like, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah, that's
it will
true.
be more developed, and like you would get
True.
anything real quick.
True. That's
Mm.
true. But because this is a suburb, it's not as well developed. But
Okay.
you do have a couple of Indian restaurants if you want to try some Indian food. We have
Mm.
other couple of restaurants, Mexican restaurants, quite popular here.
Mm.
Chinese, Japanese restaurants. It's good. You could, but the only thing is you have to travel a little far to get things done. And everything unfortunately closes maybe by like 10 p.m. Beyond 10 p.m., it's not really uh, anything. But there are a few like pubs and clubs here that are open until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the night. Very rare. You don't see them as commonly as you would. In fact, I would say Bangalore, Mumbai, or Delhi have like more nightlife than Almond
Ah,
Beach, particularly here.
okay, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
but if you travel to Orlando, you do have much more fun for
Much
sure.
more. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Right.
So, like, how flying is sort of when you can go to any international airport. Like, I've heard, like in Bravo airspace, you have to get your instructor permission and have
Yes,
to carry instructor with you. But
exactly.
you can go there, like, with a permission. Hmm?
You could. So if you have an endorsement for, oh, so this is before private pilot license, right? So if you have private pilot license already, then you just need an endorsement,
Ah,
and
okay,
you can
okay.
just
You
fly,
can
just
just
one
go.
time endorsement. Yeah, one time endorsement. You don't need it again and again. But if it's before private pilot license, you have to take your instructor along, and then you need
Hmm.
endorsements for every flight and things like that. It depends, but Bravo, we usually try and not go to Bravo airspace, because especially here in US, if it's a Bravo airspace, it's extremely packed. It's jam packed,
they are
like
like Delhi, Mumbai,
Orlando.
Bangalore. Hmm.
Exactly,
Like, how would I
exactly,
carry my Cessna with a speed of 70 knots to a gravel
absolutely,
strip where there are Boeing
absolutely.
having a final approach speed of 180, 190 knots?
180, exactly. That's not easy. And
Mm.
I mean, it's just a lot of inconvenience to a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's on the approach. So, but otherwise, we do for our cross countries, we do go for untowered airports. Usually, I prefer going to untowered airports. It's a good practice that you have. There are very popular untowered airports around. There's something called Saint Simon's Island here, which is very popular for rich people flying
Okay, okay,
the
okay.
jets in and stuff like that. So there have been cases where I'm just going at 70 knots. There's a jet waiting behind. That
Mm.
they're doing bichara 360s
Okay.
to cut their time, and so there have been cases like that. But it's pretty fun, I would say. It's nice, good experiences we would have. We have 2 3 airports that we go to around. Yeah.
That is actually great. And currently, Shashank has done his private license and is now on a stage of instruments. And he has given his instrument exam, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes. Recently,
Yeah,
I've given my instrument written exam.
yes.
I think 4 days back. So
And
that went well.
now he
Yeah,
will be testing for instrument rating very soon.
correct.
So
Hopefully,
best of
hopefully
luck,
soon. Yeah,
Shashank, for
right,
that instrument test you will be having very soon. And
right.
I will just wrap the video up. Like, overall experience
Absolutely.
and the cost you are hoping. And also there is a myth called I think it's a myth or a fact. You will tell me. Like in
Hmm.
US, your flying goes fast. Like in 1 year, like in 6 to or 1 year maybe. In the duration between you
Right.
are done with your CPL. Is it actually
Hmm.
true? Like Shashank?
Yes, yes. I would. So let me put it this way. So I have come here almost 8.5, 9 months ago, right?
Mm,
And I'm almost past my stage 1 of instruments. So I have maybe like 3 4 weeks of training left in instruments. That, let's
mm,
say, by July second week or third week, I get my instruments done. And then beyond that,
okay.
commercial training is only for 3 to 4 weeks.
Mm,
So no matter what, if everything goes well, I'm saying this again, if everything goes well, like the weather, because it's hurricane season around,
yeah,
hurricane season here in Florida. So if weather permits, everything goes well, my training should be done by end of August, right?
no
So
worries.
despite having delays with examiner, for almost like 3 to 4 months of delay because of the examiner, but despite having that, I'm getting it done in 11 months. If it's
11
if it's
months. Okay.
August, yeah, 11 months if it's August,
So
or if it's
actually,
delayed, I would say
mm,
12 to 13 months. Yeah,
so actually, it is a fact that you can end up
true.
your CPL, wrap your whole CPL less than a year,
Absolutely.
over a year, or around a year, right? Mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
mm,
Yeah.
okay,
I know
that
people
is
have got their CPL done in like 9 months to 10 months also. So it depends like what time you come here. The weather is pretty
right.
bad from, let's say,
So,
mid-June to mid-August. So if you could avoid
June,
that
June.
time in your training, absolutely, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be pretty quick for you. Yeah.
Okay, only the mid-June and mid-August. Till that time, it's just sort of like
Yeah.
little flying days, but they will be flying somehow. I mean, for some days, and the rest of
Mhm.
the year is very, very good for flying.
Absolutely, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Mm.
Winters, maybe you have fog in the mornings and things like
Mm.
that, but
Just,
towards
yeah.
afternoons, it gets pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm. Then
yeah.
it depends on day to day how weather rolls.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think you will be soon done with your CPL. And
Hopefully, man. Thank you.
so how
Yeah.
much you are actually sitting on, right? Like how much cost have you paid and how
Uh,
much you are expecting more?
so like for every flight school, I'm
Different.
assuming that
Mm.
you have to pay your entire fee in installments, right? In like three to
Installments.
four
Yeah.
installments, you
Mm.
pay every penny that is quoted on your quotation that they give you.
Quotation, yeah.
And exactly. So similarly, my quotation was for $58,000, I believe,
Mm.
and I paid the entire 58,000 right now because the installment before getting
So,
done, you have to pay it, and I
yeah.
paid it. Yeah,
Just a quick question. Like in 58,000, does
sure.
your accommodation include, like you told, you have a choice, right?
Yes. So for 6 months of accommodation could be added to it if you want. But for
Will the
me, I
price
do
go
not.
up?
Yeah, So yes, I think it might go up by 3,000 or something like that.
So
Yeah.
$58,000 you're saying is just for the CPL you will be doing in US,
Yes.
and your
Yes.
expenses, your accommodation, your transport is separate.
Yeah, and this
Okay.
includes multi-rating in it.
Multi-rating as well.
But I'll have to see. I'm still a little confused. Would I have to do
Thinking about
multi-tier or go
multi-rating,
back to
yeah,
India
because the
and things
shortage
like
of
that?
typos in India. Well, actually, there are
Exactly.
two. One is
Exactly.
in Bombay, and the other one is Kerala. And
Right.
actually, there is only one examiner available right now, if I'm not wrong, one
Eh,
or two maybe.
That's true. That's true. Just
And
one
it
I've
is
heard.
sort of
Yeah.
hectic. Particularly for the students who are converting their license, they have to deal with recency as well. So, yes,
Exactly. That's
Shashank
true. That's
will
true.
make up his mind soon about the multi, and whatever it
Yeah.
is, he will be actually right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes well. But yes, like I said, 58,000. But I still have around, if I'm not wrong, I have around 13,000 left in my account.
Okay.
So I would say I've only used 45,000 so far,
45,000.
where I've done my private, I've done my time building, not completely, but I have like 15, 20 hours more left of my time building. And I'm past almost one third of my instrument rating training. So I only have two-thirds of instrument and commercial left, and maybe like 15, 20 hours of my solo, which might, I'm hoping that it would be covered in the code that they've quoted
In
me.
the quotation,
But
yeah.
maybe, yeah, if it goes a little beyond, it
Hmm.
shouldn't exceed $3,000 to $5,000 beyond
3,500.
the quotation,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Somewhere around a figure of 60 plus minus 60. Yeah.
I would say that, yeah, plus or minus
Hmm.
60. But I would say just for safe side, do have $10,000 as spares in
Extra, yeah.
case if you have to spend.
Well,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly,
well, students in aviation never go what the school is telling you the quotation. Like,
exactly.
if they're
That's
saying
true.
50, you will end up paying 60. All right. So
True,
never lock
true.
yourself on that price only. It will help you a lot in
Absolutely.
future if you have a margin of 10 plus $10,000 a month. I
True,
mean, just go for
true.
plus, don't go for minus.
That's I also, yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
would say 10,000 to 15,000 roughly. Just have it
Yeah.
by
Mhm.
side and
Just
might come
have a
in
margin
handy.
of
Yeah,
that.
true.
So I think the last question, only the last question is, would
Sure.
you recommend Sunrise Aviation to anyone else?
Absolutely. I mean, I did, a lot of people do text me on Instagram, or like they send emails and stuff, comments
Mhm.
on the YouTube. I do tell
Yeah.
people it's pretty nice. It's one of the better schools here in Florida for the price that they're giving and for the time that you're staying here. I
Mhm.
would say it's pretty worth it. But I would say again, everybody have their own experiences. For me, I, apart from the delay of the examiner, I did not really face any major issues that would interrupt or
Yeah, I got your
hinder my
training.
training. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Otherwise, pretty going. Like I said, despite having the examiner shortage in Florida, I'm still hoping to get done within 12 months of time, which I would say is pretty good. uh, it's only because number of instructors, number of aircrafts available to the student ratio is pretty good
Yeah,
here. So that's why I would say it's possible. So if you're considering, absolutely. But again, just do your own research.
I'm doing research.
Sometimes you might have schools that might be having better opportunities for you guys, especially personally. But otherwise, if someone asks me, I would say, yeah, pretty good one
Okay.
to
Yeah.
come here
Mhm.
and get the training done. Yeah,
And that's very reassuring hearing from
yeah,
you who is actually training in Sunrise
right,
Aviation right now. Not like someone who just cleared his training and
right,
okay. I think I have asked mainly many questions which students have
right.
actually generally how things work, and you
Uh-huh.
have wonderfully answered all of them. And
Thank
if
you, man.
something
My
is
pleasure.
left by me, you can just drop a text or on
Sure.
the channel link I will be providing in the description of Shashank YouTube. You can ask him as well. And I think
Absolutely.
this video has brings some light in your research about how things work in US and flying and stuff. And I hope to see you soon. And Shashank has done actually a very great job here just to connect with me because it's very difficult to manage time because currently I am available, I am free, and he is actually training there, so he has to manage his time. So just for him, just hit the like and subscribe and follow more such videos. Until then, keep watching your favorite channel. Nice guy. Okay. Bye.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful.
And then
Thank
little
you.
So well, actually I'm sorry for the background noise, but if you like the video, please hit a follow. And so nice of Shashank to just make time out, because in US that was around 12 o'clock in afternoon and he was about to leave to school, but he somehow managed and we ended up having that video. So if you like this, just comment down below whatever the questions you have, or on YouTube of Shashank, which I have put in the description box, or check out my Telegram channel for more material stuff for DGCA South Africa exams. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.